What am I missing here with Nick Seeler?
So they are obsessed with him.
They seem to be.
And I feel they've been obsessed with him since the
Since he
moment
fought
he
Nick
decided
Deslauriers.
to fight Nick Deslauriers. Jonesy, who I love desperately at this point, probably fucking loves Nick Seeler. And like, Nick Seeler is fun. He's fine. And I wouldn't care so much about like if they sign a 30-year-old guy to be a third pair defenseman for 2 years. Like normally I'd be like, well, who cares? But the problem is the Flyers have so many defensemen in the system that they got to start getting NHL time to see what they have. And if Nick Seeler's playing every night, that's a spot that one of these kids can't take.
Yeah, he's definitely improved. Like you can see it out there. The one thing that I do notice is that I don't know if it's just towards his system, but like defensively, he's been such a big help. We talk about it while we watch some games every night. He's taking block shots every single night. It's like 2 or 3 at least that he's taking.
Trust your goalie.
He has really turned himself into
Mr.
something.
Bruised up.
That said, like I don't want to, again, I don't want to disparage the good goddamn name of Nick Seeler here, but it's like I look at what he has become and what he was a couple of years ago and just think like, man, remember what I thought about Travis Sanheim a year ago? Remember what like Sean Walker? Yeah, okay, he was a nice little player in LA, but like no one thought he was anything special, and now he's after 2 trades, number 2 on the trade bait list. Like Rasmus Ristolainen went from liability to we can live with that. John Tortorella and Brad Shaw have this ability to do this thing.
They do a thing.
Why can't they turn Igor Zamula into him, or Ronnie Attard, or Adam Ginning, or like literally anyone else and get your draft pick compensation for Nick Seeler? Like you have this thing that clearly works. Brad Shaw and John Tortorella turn pedestrian guys into useful players.
Yeah.
Igor Zamula has like fixed the power play. I don't think anyone had that on their fucking, no matter what you thought of Igor Zamula before this season, it wasn't like, oh yeah, he's going to be our most productive guy on the power play. No one thought that, including Igor Zamula. Like his mom didn't think that was
maybe his mom.
Like his mother didn't think, oh, he's going to lead the team in power play points. I don't know if he actually does or doesn't, but in my mind he does.
He could.
I mean, like Travis Konecny has 4, so it's not that hard to probably lead this team in power play points. I'm just saying, if you have this ability to do this with guys, and there is the mentality of like he did go and fight Nick Deslauriers, which if you watch Nick Deslauriers this year, he's having real trouble finding anyone to fight.
Yeah,
like nobody really wants any of him.
No.
Even the dudes who do fight him are like Pat Maroon in their first fight was like, I'm just gonna hold you out here, bud.
Yeah.
Like I don't really want to trade fists with you, but you challenged me and I'm Pat Maroon, so I can't say no. Like Deslauriers or like Seeler said, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. What? And I just what's going on
here?
Read
the last comment in the chat.
Seeler,
Brian.
Walker.
Are you sure he's not
I have questions
confusing
for
him
you,
with
Brian.
someone else?
Yeah, are you confusing Jamie Drysdale with somebody else? You might be.
You can't trade Jamie Drysdale.
That's a spicy
Jamie Drysdale's going nowhere.
No.
He's signed for very little money for 2 more years, and he has #1 defenseman upside.
We got the T-shirt on the PHLY Sports locker.
Yeah.
Right. He's not going anywhere.
And make sure you get that at PHLYlocker.com. Dry guy to fly guy. Yeah,
Thank you, Brian.
Jamie Drysdale's going nowhere.
No.
That's crazy talk. Like, what would they even?
No, I don't want to. We don't need to address it. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. And I was like,
Nick Seeler. Like at the end of the day, it's not going to be for a ton of money. Like he makes what $775 or something right now.
Yeah,
it's going to be very little money. I can't imagine it's even a long term. Even if it is, like
2 years probably.
Yeah, 2-3 years. It's not hurting you in any way.
No.
Outside of the idea, we got that question in the mailbag yesterday, Kelly. What has this team done to make you actually believe they're in a rebuild? Selling high on Nick Seeler is exactly what you do in a rebuild.
Do you ever see those people on Instagram that buy like a piece of furniture for $10 and then paint it and sell it for $500?
Yeah.
Like Nick Seeler is the cabinet that you found on the corner for $3.
You just found him at Goodwill.
Like you have to sell him because you can. And you probably couldn't before. So, like, why not? And
his
also,
value's high right now, too.
It's not really the money. Like, I don't really care what they pay him. He's taking a spot from one of these kids in the AHL that has to get NHL playing time. Like, eventually, these guys have to get playing time.
That's like Nick Seeler's 30. We talked about this yet. Like,
Yeah.
there's no more to uncover with Nick Seeler.
Now we
Here's
got him.
what he
That's
is.
He
it.
has turned himself into a useful player. No doubt about it. This is it, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, oh, well, let's see. What's he going to be next year? Next year, he's going to be a year older, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Like,
or worse. Is
yeah,
the,
like,
those
That's
are the
what-
options.
We're
yeah.
seeing it with Scott Laughton. Like, maybe Scott Laughton bounces back, but the best we can hope for out of Scott Laughton is what he was like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, he's not getting any better. Nick Seeler, he wasn't a full-time NHLer until the Flyers brought, and now
Nope.
he has to be a part of this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just find that insane. Like, Travis Konecny, I'm looking at some of the returns on some of these deals and thinking, oh,
Yeah.
maybe you have to do it. But, like, at the end of the day, he's a really good player. Like, he is a top-line caliber player.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what Nick Seeler, like, on a actual Stanley Cup contending team.
Oh, Nick Seeler's not
is
playing.
Nick Seeler is, oh, someone got hurt and we can throw him in and it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Or like he's or he's a third pair at best.
He's a 7 on a good team.
But also,
What
the
are we
past-
doing?
But also, the past couple of years, he's been like our 6th or 7th defenseman now. Like, and again, like I think you nailed it as well. Like, this coaching staff has found a way to develop a lot of these guys. Like you mentioned, Sean Walker as well, Igor Zamula, Travis Sanheim have all had improvements here. So logically, it just doesn't make sense to give Nick Seeler another contract here. You know what he is. Bring up the younger kids and develop the rest of the young kids as well.
Yeah.
Wherever it comes through.
Yeah, before he got to Philly, Seeler
He
played.
was in Minnesota, right?
Of
Yeah.
course he was, because Chuck Fletcher brought him back.
A lot of
Seeler
those
played
Minnesotans.
basically in 3 years, 1 year's worth of games.
Yeah.
In the first 3 seasons before he gets to Philly. Like, I just don't understand what we're doing. If we're not opening up, we say we need high-end guys, and I don't think you're ultimately going to replace, like, oh, the Nick Seeler replacement isn't someone who's going to win you a Norris Trophy,
No.
but it's got to be someone with higher upside than Nick Seeler. Nick Seeler is going to play all of next season at 31 years old. Like,
Yeah.
what? There's no room for improvement here.
No.
He's what he is, or worse.
So if I may, I want to ask a question. Do we have to make a deal with one of these defensemen at the deadline?
Sean Walker,
Sean Walker, you
100% must
have
be
to.
traded simply
I would
because
agree.
he's gonna
Value.
get overpaid in free agency. I want
Yeah.
nothing to do with the next Sean Walker contract.
and someone will give us a first.
Yes,
For Sean
So
Walker.
please.
So you got to get it.
Sean Monahan just went for a first. He's
Oh
a
my
nice
God.
player. He is not. I mean, no. I thought it was wrong. Did you
I
see
know.
what the condition on the other pick is?
You have
No,
to
I
like
didn't.
reread it. Like
What is
what?
If they win the cup, if the Jets win the cup this year, they get a 4th in 2027.
I love when they put these weird ass conditions on these things.
I
It's
love
like,
a good conditional trade.
All right.
But I thought that was funny.
How'd we
That,
come
like,
up with that
and then
one?
4 years from now, you'll get some, or 3 years from now, you will get something if we win the cup this year.
We all silly like the mayor.